and welcome to Menna Cycles. Today I'm talking about a little bit of a girly subject, but something that I think is quite important and I've done a lot of research into, and that is makeup for cycling. So, I know lots of people choose not to wear makeup for cycling, but I find sometimes if you're going on a night out or you want to go out straight after work but you still want to cycle there, you need something that will stay put through sweating or raining or whatever. So to start, foundation or base, quite a lot of the time I just don't bother and I don't wear any. I find that often it sweats off anyway, so if you are going to put something on, it needs to be quite a kind of sheer colour and it really needs to match your face because you don't want anything patchy. At the moment I've been trying out the Rimmel Match Perfection, and I've got that in light porcelain. I'm really pale. This actually looks ridiculously pale compared to my skin, but I do find it blends quite nicely. And I just use this, and then I have a Real Techniques brush, expert face brush potentially, yes, definitely. And I just use that to just buff it all over. And then for concealer, I used to use a very expensive one, I can't remember what it's called, and now I've found the Collection 2000 Lasting Perfection concealer. It's really thick, it's cheap, and I think it covers kind of blemishes and dark circles quite well, although if you have dry skin it doesn't really work. Anyway, I just dab that on, you either blend it with my finger or use the brush. For eyes, now this is always, I think, a tricky one because quite often when you're cycling your eyes will water, so you need something that will really stay put. Now day to day I'm a massive fan of this. It's another Rimmel product, Rimmel Exaggerate Eyeliner, and I really like this one because the brush is kind of, it's not too thin, it's almost the shape of the cat flick, so it's really easy to get that line. Now the normal regular 100% black is really black, but it's a little bit chalky, and if it rains or you sweat it definitely smudges, and it really smudges it on the outside. So I go for the waterproof version, which is the same. It's not quite as matte, it's a bit more shiny, but it really sticks on. Quite often I'll just wear this and mascara and that'll be it. But if I want a little bit more of a glam look and something a bit more nighttime, then I like to wear a bit of eyeshadow. Eyeshadow wise, I find it really hard to find eyeshadow that stays on and doesn't crease and doesn't end up like up here. But this is my new favourite, and all my friends, I have bored them to death with it because I think it's so good, and it is the Maybelline Colour Tattoo 24. It is a cream eyeshadow and it's really easy to use. It's just this kind of bronze metallic colour, really pretty on the eye, and it just, you whack it on, you have to work quite quickly because it dries really quickly, but smack it on. I use kind of just a little eyeshadow brush. This is a cheapie from Superdrug, because the reason I use a brush is because I don't like when I put it on my finger, if I'm not quick enough to wash it off, then it just stays on and then you have a weird metallic finger. I've got this in two colours. I've got another in like a pomegranate colour, really pretty, stays on, like even when you kind of scrub your eye it doesn't come off unless you use really strong eye makeup remover. So in terms of cycling, it's not going anywhere. So as I said, you don't want anything to smudge, and with mascara I feel like that's always a little bit tricky. I wear contacts as well, so I have to be really careful because my eyes are quite sensitive. My favourite one is this, which is Max Factor Masterpiece Waterproof. Now, like I said, I've got really sensitive eyes, and I found that the regular Max Factor Masterpiece didn't irritate my eyes at all, gave me really long black lashes, and so I just switched to this one. The waterproof is just as good. It is a pain to get off, but once it's on, it really sets your lashes, and like if you've curled them especially, they look really pretty with this. I haven't tried many others. I recently tried one by MUA because I just wanted a cheap one that I can stick in my bag, and it was really weird, the applicator, the way it worked, you couldn't actually get any product out, whereas this is kind of loaded with product. You can coat it on, it takes a couple of minutes to dry, so you have to kind of be careful not to sneeze, but it's a really kind of, I don't know, easy product, like, and they're pretty cheap as well because it's only max about £10. Now for the lips, as I said, I really like a bold lip, and if I'm not wearing a bold lip then I'm probably just got a little bit of lip balm on, chapstick, which I've mentioned before in my other video. However, bold lip when cycling, again, a tricky one to keep stuck on your lips. You don't want it smudging on your face, you don't want to kind of, I don't know, you just don't want any mess when you arrive somewhere when you've got makeup on. Now, I've found out this top tip for getting lipstick or whatever you're using to stay on, and that is lip liner. Now, I didn't know quite how great lip liner was until a couple of months ago, and rather than just kind of doing a bit of a 90s vibe and putting it around the outside, you kind of put it around the outside and then colour all of your lips in, and I find that works just really, really nicely. You can just do that and stick some lip balm on top, or you can go for lipstick. I have recently discovered another Rimmel product, they must have had a deal on, which is called Lasting Colour Rush. It's a balm, but it's really, really coloured. I think it is definitely, I know it is definitely a rip-off of the Clinique Chubby Sticks. But it's really pigmented and really, really glossy. It's what I've got on now, and it's really easy to wear, and what I really like is, like, you can chuck that in your bag and it's not going to get broken. However, if it's a proper night out or you want something matte, my ultimate favourite lipstick is by MAC, so not cheap unfortunately, and it is called Russian Red. It is a really strong matte